The SS horizon drifted silently through the empty black of space. Stars stretched in every direction, cold and distant, like diamonds frozen in the void. Inside the ship, the hum of the engines was the only sound that broke the stillness. Captain Armin stood at the main viewport, staring at the endless night. He felt a chill he could not explain, a tension that made every hair on his arms rise. Something was out there, and it was watching. The ship's sensors had picked up an unusual signal hours ago. At first, it was just a faint blip, a rhythmic pulse that did not match any known natural phenomenon. The signal seemed to come from the very edge of explored space. Lieutenant Sarah sat at the console, her fingers flying over the controls as she tried to track it. The pulse was regular, almost alive, as if it were breathing. "Captain," she said, her voice tight with curiosity and worry. "It's not coming from any star system. It's moving. Slowly. And it's adjusting to us." Armin frowned. "Adjusting to us?" Sarah nodded. "Yes. Every time we change course, it shifts. It's like it knows where we are before we move." Armin's eyes narrowed. He had heard rumors from old space pilots, stories of signals that seemed to think, that responded to thought. He never believed them, until now. The crew felt the tension too. Every member of the small team was quiet, waiting, listening, as the signal pulsed steadily through the ship's sensors. "Keep scanning," Armin ordered. "Stay alert. And prepare for anything." The crew followed orders, though fear clung to them like a shadow. Time seemed to stretch as the horizon moved closer to the source. Then, without warning, a shape appeared in front of the ship. It was massive, larger than any human vessel. Its surface shimmered with colors that did not exist in Earth's spectrum, a strange pattern of light that shifted and flowed like liquid. The ship went silent. Every console beeped as the systems struggled to analyze the object. The crew held their breath. The shape hovered, unmoving, as if studying them. Sarah whispered, "It's watching us." Armin's hand rested on the edge of the viewport. "Keep calm. Don't make sudden movements. Let's see what it wants." The crew obeyed, though their hearts pounded. The horizon's engines hummed softly, a fragile sound in the enormous emptiness. The alien vessel seemed alive. There was no noise, no radio signals, no weapons. Only the presence, a weight that pressed on the crew's minds. Then a small object separated from the larger vessel. It moved slowly, gliding toward the horizon. It was unlike anything the humans had ever seen. Glowing softly, with a strange, smooth surface, it floated silently through space. The crew watched as it approached, neither retreating nor attacking. "Captain," Sarah said, voice trembling. It's close enough to scan." Armin nodded. "Do it. But keep shields ready." The sensors hummed as data streamed in. The object's composition defied known science. Its surface reflected not light, but something deeper, like the memory of the stars themselves. The crew felt a strange vibration through their bodies, a hum that seemed to echo inside their minds. This isn't just a ship," whispered Ensign Malik, the youngest crew member. "It's something else. Something alive." Armin's eyes were fixed on the alien probe. "Stay sharp. Observe everything. We don't know if it's friendly or dangerous." The probe paused in front of the horizon, hanging in space as if waiting. Then, slowly, it extended a faint, light-like pattern toward the ship. The lights moved like fingers, tracing shapes in the air. The crew stared, mesmerized, unable to look away. What is it doing?" Sarah asked. Armin could only shake his head. "I don't know. But don't touch anything. Let it make the first move." For a moment, nothing happened. The signal stopped pulsing, the alien probe froze, and the universe felt heavier. Then, like a wave, a sudden rush of understanding hit the crew. Not in words, but in feeling. Images of distant worlds, stars burning with strange colors, vast civilizations that lived and died before humanity existed. The sensation was overwhelming. Ensign Malik stumbled, gripping the console. It's showing us something. I can see cities, machines, people, not like us. Armin steadied him. Control yourself. Focus on the horizon. Breathe. The probe's lights pulsed again, slower this time. It seemed to test them, watching their reactions. Every crew member felt the same awe, the same fear. For the first time, humanity was not the master of its world. Out here, at the edge of the universe, they were small, fragile, unknown. Armin finally spoke, his voice calm but firm. Prepare to send a response. We don't know what it wants, but we'll show it we are here. We are human. We come in peace. The crew moved, hands shaking, hearts racing, as they prepared to make first contact with something beyond comprehension. The signal, the probe, the unknown intelligence, all waited silently. Outside, the stars watched. And for the first time in history, humans felt the weight of the universe holding its breath. The probe hovered for a moment, like a silent observer, before retreating slightly toward the massive ship that had appeared from the void. The Horizon's crew had never seen anything so vast. The alien vessel was enormous, stretching farther than the eye could follow. Its surface shimmered with colors that shifted constantly, impossible to describe. It seemed alive, breathing, flowing, and moving in ways that defied human physics. Captain Armin took a deep breath. All sensors on full. Track everything. Do not make sudden moves. The crew obeyed, though fear gnawed at them from the inside. Even the seasoned officers felt their hearts racing. The alien ship emitted no sound, no threat, yet its presence was heavier than anything they had ever felt. It pressed on their minds, a quiet weight that made every decision feel fragile and dangerous. Lieutenant Sarah watched the sensors carefully. Captain, it's scanning us. Every system, every movement. It's like it wants to know who we are, but I can't read it. Nothing matches what I've seen before. Armin nodded. Stay alert. Any sudden change, and we pull back. But let's try to observe it. We might learn something, or make first contact the right way. The probe returned, spinning slowly, leaving trails of light that glowed against the black of space. Then, the alien ship shifted slightly. It was subtle, barely noticeable, but the Horizon's crew could feel the change. It was as if the giant vessel had acknowledged them, not as threats, but as something interesting. Sarah leaned closer to the controls, her hands trembling. Captain, look at this. It's rearranging its structure. Armin focused on the viewports. The ship's surface moved like liquid metal, rising and folding in patterns that made the crew dizzy. Shapes formed and disappeared, almost like symbols or writing, but alive, changing too fast for comprehension. It's communicating, whispered Ensign Malik, voice barely audible. Armin shook his head slowly. I don't know. But it's trying something. Stay ready. The alien vessel began to move toward the horizon, not aggressively, but with purpose. Its size made it seem like a mountain drifting through the stars. The crew felt the pull of curiosity and fear. They had trained for space battles, emergencies, even disasters, but nothing prepared them for this. This was something alive and intelligent, something that could erase humanity with a single thought, yet chose not to. Sarah's fingers flew across the console, recording every pulse, every shimmer of light. It's responding to our scans. Our systems, our life signs. It knows we are here, and it's studying us. Armin tightened his grip on the viewport. All right. Let's make a slow approach. Keep shields ready. No sudden moves. The Horizon inched forward, the small human ship dwarfed by the alien presence. For a moment, the universe seemed to hold its breath. Stars looked dimmer, distant, as if even they were watching. The alien vessel pulsed slowly, a rhythm that synced with the Horizon's engines. The crew felt a strange calm, a dangerous calm that made every second stretch endlessly. Suddenly, a part of the alien ship detached, a massive segment that rotated slowly, moving closer to the horizon. It glowed with an inner light, soft and warm, yet completely alien. It didn't seem solid, Yet it wasn't empty. It was a living shape, something between matter and energy, something that challenged every law of human science. Sarah's voice trembled. "Captain, it's coming closer, but not in attack. It's showing itself." Armin swallowed hard. "Keep calm. Observe everything. Do not panic. Let's see what it wants." The probe touched the horizon briefly, a gentle shimmer across the hull. Systems flickered, but nothing broke. The lights danced across the ship, leaving strange patterns, almost like a language the humans could not read. The crew felt a strange sensation, like their minds were being probed gently, their thoughts nudged but not stolen. Ensign Malik stumbled, staring out the viewport. It's beautiful. I can feel it. Like it knows us. Like it's alive." Armin nodded, his eyes fixed on the alien shapes. "Yes, it is alive. And it's intelligent. This is first contact, but not hostile. Yet we must be careful. Any wrong move." The probe retracted and returned to the giant ship. Slowly, the larger vessel shifted again, revealing a massive array of structures that looked like towers and bridges, though they were formed from energy rather than solid matter. The crew gasped as they realized this was no ordinary ship. It was a living city, a moving planet of thought and light. Sarah whispered, We are not alone. And they are watching us, learning from us. They know we are here." Armin's jaw tightened. "Then we must show them what humans are. Not as warriors, not as threats, but as explorers. Let's show courage. Let's show who we are." The crew exchanged tense glances, fear and awe mixed together. The horizon was small, fragile, yet alive with human will. Outside, the alien vessel pulsed again, slow and deliberate, almost like a heartbeat. And in the black silence of the stars, humanity faced the unknown for the first time. The universe waited. The alien probe hovered just beyond the horizon's hull, its glow soft but intense. The crew stared, frozen, as the strange object pulsed gently, almost like it was breathing. The human ship had never encountered anything like this, something alive, intelligent, and impossibly advanced. Every member of the crew felt a strange energy in the air, a vibration that seemed to echo inside their bones. Captain Armin stepped closer to the viewport. "Everyone, stay calm. Watch carefully. Observe, but do not touch anything." Lieutenant Sarah's fingers trembled over the console. It's looking at us. I can feel it. Not with eyes. Somehow, it's in my head." Armin's gaze narrowed. "Then let it see us too. Let it understand we are human. Friendly. Explorers, not threats." The probe moved closer, its light shifting, forming patterns that twisted and folded in impossible ways. The crew could not see shapes they recognized. There were no faces, no limbs, but somehow, it seemed alive. Malik, the youngest crew member, whispered, It's thinking. I can feel it. It's asking something, maybe." Armin nodded slowly. "Then we answer. But not with words. Show it who we are. Let it feel us." Sarah keyed the communication console, broadcasting a simple human signal, a series of tones, friendly, calm, repeating slowly. The probe shimmered in response. Its light shifted faster now, like sparks racing along its surface. The crew felt their hearts race. Every pulse of the probe's light seemed to touch their minds, carrying impressions, feelings, and visions that were impossible to describe. "It's sharing something," Sarah whispered, voice barely audible. "Flashes. I see stars, planets, cities, civilizations we've never imagined." Ensign Malik leaned back, stunned. "It's showing us its world? Or, more than a world? Something bigger." Armin placed his hand on Malik's shoulder. "Focus. Remember we are humans. Remember we are explorers. Let it see courage, curiosity, peace." The probe extended a thin, light-like tendril toward the ship. When it touched the horizon, the crew felt a sudden rush of understanding. Not words, but feelings, images, memories. The probe was not speaking, it was thinking, sharing, connecting. For a moment, fear vanished. They felt the history of a civilization, vast and ancient, beyond comprehension. The weight of time, the beauty of countless stars, and the power of a mind that could perceive the universe as a single thought. Sarah gasped. It's teaching us, showing us things. I can understand some of it, but not all. It's too vast. Armin's voice was steady, though his hands shook slightly. Then we observe, learn what we can, and show it we are worthy of attention. Show it humanity. The probe pulsed again, slower this time, as if it was waiting for their response. The crew shared glances, understanding without words what they must do. Slowly, each crew member focused on one idea: peace, exploration, curiosity, and respect for the universe. Their intentions were simple, human, but strong. The probe's light expanded, wrapping around the horizon like a gentle embrace. The vibrations in the ship steadied. The images and feelings became clearer, stars being born, worlds teeming with life, civilizations rising and falling, all connected in a pattern beyond human understanding. The crew realized that this first contact was not just between two species, it was a meeting of minds, a sharing of existence itself. Malik whispered, awe in his voice. They know we are alive. They know we are humans. And they accept it. Armin nodded, feeling a deep calm wash over him. Not just accept. They are curious. They want to know more. And we are ready to show them. Suddenly, the probe retracted slightly, and the alien vessel in the distance shifted. It shimmered and folded in ways that made the horizon feel smaller, almost fragile, yet significant. The crew realized the enormity of the moment. They were tiny, but their courage, curiosity, and humanity had mattered. Sarah whispered, They are watching us carefully. Judging, learning, maybe even admiring. Armin smiled faintly. Then we continue. Slowly, carefully. Every movement counts. Every thought matters. The horizon drifted slightly closer, and the probe moved with it, matching its speed perfectly. The crew felt a rhythm, a connection, as if the ship and the alien mind were dancing in the void. The universe outside remained silent, but inside the horizon, the first true bond between humans and an alien intelligence had begun. For the first time, humanity was not alone. And for the first time, humans realized they were not insignificant. Somewhere out there, beyond the edge of stars and galaxies, a mind far older, far wiser, and far greater than theirs had taken notice. And it had not turned away. The crew of the horizon held their breath, hearts pounding, minds open. This was only the beginning. The horizon floated in the void, tethered only by the fragile thread of human will. The alien probe pulsed softly, then suddenly, the stars around them seemed to dim. Not just a little. Every star, every distant sun, even the faint glow of galaxies in the distance flickered, as if the universe itself had taken a deep, deliberate breath and held it. Captain Armin felt a shiver crawl down his spine. Everyone, stay calm. Keep your eyes open. Something is happening. Lieutenant Sarah's fingers hovered over the console. Captain, I think it's not just the probe. The entire space around us. It's changing. Time. It's slowing. The crew looked around in disbelief. The ship's clocks ticked slower, the hum of the engine stretched into a long, deep vibration, and even their own movements felt heavy, delayed. Ensign Malik stumbled as if gravity had increased, though nothing had physically changed. What is happening? Malik asked, voice trembling. Armin swallowed hard. I think we're witnessing something no human has ever seen. The universe itself is pausing. The probe pulsed again, and a wave of sensation passed through the horizon. This time, it was stronger, more vivid. Thoughts, images, and feelings invaded the minds of the crew, not in words, but in pure understanding. They saw worlds forming, civilizations rising, stars dying, all in a single breath. And among it, they sensed something impossible, an awareness that spanned galaxies, a mind that could perceive everything at once. Sarah gasped. It's showing us everything. I can feel the universe itself, like it's alive. And it's waiting. The crew clutched consoles, holding on as visions flooded their senses. They saw not only alien worlds but glimpses of lifeforms that had never existed, energies that moved beyond time and space, and moments that stretched before and after each other, all at once. The experience was beautiful, terrifying, and incomprehensible. Malik whispered, I can feel their thoughts. Not just the probe, the ship, the minds behind it. They are immense. Older than stars. Armin's jaw tightened. Then we have to stay focused. Remember, we are humans. We can feel awe, fear, and courage. That is our power. That is what makes us alive. The probe's light reached out, touching each crew member in turn. The pulse carried understanding, not control, but knowledge, like the aliens wanted them to see the universe as they saw it. Time itself felt elastic, stretching and bending. The horizon's hull vibrated, but gently, as if the ship were cradled in the hands of the cosmos. Sarah felt a sudden connection, a link to the probe that went beyond science or reason. Captain, it's not testing us like an enemy. It's sharing with us, trying to teach. But it's so immense. I don't know if my mind can hold it all. Armin nodded slowly. We don't need to understand everything. We just need to be present. Feel it, learn what we can, and show respect. That is enough for now. The stars outside paused completely, frozen in the black sky. Even distant asteroids, comets, and human satellites seemed suspended mid-motion. The universe was silent. And yet, in that silence, the crew of the horizon felt the heartbeat of existence itself, slow, deliberate, and incomprehensibly vast. Malik looked out the viewport, awe and fear mixing in his eyes. We are witnessing the mind of the universe. And it sees us. We're alive. We exist. And somehow, it acknowledges it. The probe pulsed one final time, sending a wave through the ship that left warmth in their chests and clarity in their minds. Images of the alien civilization, their technology, and their understanding of space lingered, leaving the crew with an understanding that was both thrilling and humbling. Sarah whispered, Captain, they're impressed? Or at least curious. I think we passed the first test. Armin nodded slowly, feeling the weight of what they had just experienced. This is bigger than anything we imagined. We came as explorers, and we've been seen. Not as enemies. Not as insignificant. But as humans. Alive. Curious. Brave. That matters. The probe retracted slowly, and as it did, the stars, planets, and galaxies began to flicker back to normal. Time resumed its normal flow, the engines hummed at their usual pitch, and gravity felt right again. But the crew of the horizon knew nothing would ever feel the same. They had touched the mind of the universe, and it had touched them in return. Outside, the alien ship shimmered one last time, its massive form glowing faintly before it began to drift away, slowly, deliberately, leaving the horizon alone, but not unconnected. The crew understood this was only the beginning. The universe had paused for them, and in doing so, it had changed everything. Armin exhaled slowly, looking at his crew. Prepare logs. Record everything. We've made history today. And we need to remember this moment. Humanity has been seen. And the universe is watching. Malik smiled faintly, still trembling. Captain, I think we're ready for whatever comes next. Armin's eyes reflected the stars, now fully bright again. Yes, we are human, and that is enough. The horizon floated in the stillness of space, its crew still absorbing what had just happened. The stars were back, shining normally, but the memory of the universal pause lingered like an echo in their minds. Captain Armin stood at the viewport, staring at the dark void. Something had changed. Humanity was no longer invisible. Something out there had noticed them, and not just noticed, they had communicated in their own way. The alien probe pulsed again, gently, like a heartbeat. This time, the sensation was different. It did not just touch their minds, it reached inside, carrying a message without words, without sound. The crew felt images, thoughts and emotions all at once, a torrent of understanding far beyond human language. Lieutenant Sarah gasped. "Captain, it's speaking. Not with words, but with thought. Directly. Into our minds." Armin nodded slowly, heart pounding. "Then listen. Carefully. We need to understand what they are saying. Every feeling, every image, it matters." The first impression was overwhelming. Flashes of light and color, impossible shapes, and visions of distant civilizations filled their minds. The crew felt the pulse of countless worlds, the rhythm of stars, and the pattern of life stretching across the cosmos. And amidst it all, a feeling of curiosity, caution, and intelligence radiated from the aliens. Malik whispered, trembling, I can feel their intentions. They are not hostile, but they are judging, observing, learning who we are." Armin placed a hand on Malik's shoulder. "Then we must show them. Show them humanity. Our courage. Our curiosity. Our desire to explore. And to understand." The probe's light expanded, wrapping around the horizon in soft waves. And then the message became clearer. The aliens were asking questions. Not in words, but in impressions. They wanted to know why humans traveled, what they sought, and how they thought. Every crew member felt the questions resonate in their minds. Sarah focused, trying to respond in kind. She imagined answers clearly in her thoughts. Humanity seeks knowledge, not conquest. We explore, not destroy. We are curious, brave, and alive. The aliens seemed to sense her intentions, and the probe pulsed in acknowledgement. Malik's mind was filled with strange visions, alien cities built from energy, networks of thought stretching across planets, and beings who lived and communicated without speech. And yet, among all this complexity, the aliens seemed to pause, observing the humans' simple, raw emotions. Curiosity, fear, hope, courage. Armin spoke softly, more to himself than anyone else. "It's not our technology they care about. Not our weapons or ships. They are looking at us, at who we are, at what makes humans human." The crew felt the alien mind reach deeper, testing their resolve, their honesty, their unity. It was not an interrogation, but a measurement of essence. Every heartbeat, every thought, every small act of bravery counted. The Horizon's crew realized that in this moment, humanity was being evaluated not for power, but for character. Sarah whispered, "Captain, I think they respect us. They see our courage, our willingness to face the unknown, and they are curious about us, about what we can do." Armin's jaw tightened. "Then we continue. Calm, patient, honest. Let them know we are explorers. That we come in peace. That we are alive, and willing to learn." The probe pulsed once more, slowly, deliberately. The sensations in the crew's minds shifted from questions to images of opportunity. Stars forming, new worlds waiting, civilizations unknown, and possibilities beyond human imagination. The aliens were offering insight, not gifts, but the insight itself was a treasure beyond measure. Malik smiled faintly, awed. They want us to understand. They trust us, a little, and maybe even want to help us grow. If we are worthy. Armin exhaled slowly, a mixture of relief and determination in his chest. This is the start, not the end. We've been seen. We've been judged. And we have earned a chance to be part of something larger. Sarah added, "Captain, they are not just testing us. They are teaching us, showing us possibilities. And they want to see how we respond." Armin nodded. "Then we respond with honesty, with courage, and with humanity. That is what matters. That is how we survive and thrive in a universe far bigger than ourselves. The probe retracted slightly, shimmering like liquid light, but the connection remained. The crew of the Horizon knew that this was not the final message, nor the full extent of the alien intelligence. This was the beginning of a dialogue, a meeting of minds across the vast gulf of space. Outside, the stars sparkled normally, but the human crew knew they had glimpsed the truth. Intelligence beyond imagination, civilizations far older and wiser, and a universe more alive than anyone had ever believed. And humanity had survived the first contact, not through strength, but through character, curiosity, and courage. The Horizon drifted onward, slowly. Every crew member felt the weight of history on their shoulders. The universe had noticed them. And now, humanity had a choice: fear the unknown, or embrace it. Captain Armin looked at his crew, eyes bright with determination. We are human. And that is our strength. Let's continue. Let's show them what humanity can be. The Horizon drifted slowly through the quiet stars, the alien probe hovering nearby, its soft light wrapping the ship like a gentle pulse. The crew was still absorbing the mental messages, the visions of alien civilizations, and the knowledge of a universe far bigger than they had imagined. But now something had changed. The probe's pulses were deliberate, slow, and measured, as if it wanted them to decide. Captain Armin studied the shimmering light. Everyone, pay attention. I think this is the moment. They are not just observing us anymore. They want a choice. And how we respond now may decide our future. Lieutenant Sarah's voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly. Captain, I can feel it. They are giving us a chance. A real chance. To show who we are. Not through words, not through technology, but through our actions. Our intentions. Ensign Malik swallowed hard. A chance to prove ourselves? How? What do they want? Armin looked at each crew member in turn. They want us to respond honestly. To show courage, curiosity, and understanding. They are testing our nature, not our weapons. Not our systems. Humanity itself. And we have to choose wisely. The probe pulsed once, and suddenly the crew felt a deep wave of thought, not just questions, but possibilities. One path showed them retreating, fleeing in fear. The aliens would watch, unimpressed, and humanity would remain small, insignificant, unseen by the greater civilizations of the galaxy. Another path showed them remaining calm, reaching out, showing honesty and courage. That path glowed brighter, almost tangible, as if the universe itself acknowledged it. Sarah's eyes widened. Captain, it's showing us consequences. If we run, we stay invisible. But if we act with courage, we join the larger story of the universe. Armin nodded slowly. Then there is no question. We do not run. We are explorers. We are humans. And we face the unknown with curiosity and courage. That is our choice. Malik's voice was soft but certain. Then we show them who we are. Not as warriors, not as conquerors, but as humans. Alive, curious, brave. The probe's light expanded, wrapping the Horizon in a gentle, embracing glow. Every crew member felt a surge of understanding, as if the aliens themselves recognized their decision. This was not a simple test. It was an invitation, an opportunity to step onto the stage of the cosmos, not through force, but through character. Armin placed his hand on the main viewport, watching the alien vessel in the distance. We respond with honesty. We respond with openness. And we respect the universe, and those who inhabit it. That is what humanity offers. The probe pulsed again, faster this time, sending waves of thought that felt like applause, encouragement, and acknowledgement all at once. The crew felt joy, relief, and awe mixing together. Somehow, in the language of thought and energy, the aliens had understood them, and the humans had made the right choice. Sarah whispered, "Captain, I think they approve. Or at least, they see potential in us. They want to continue this dialogue, to observe, to teach, and maybe, to learn from us too. Armin smiled faintly, a mixture of relief and pride in his chest. Then we continue. We remain explorers. We remain humans. And we show them what our kind is capable of: courage, curiosity, and understanding. That is how we survive and thrive. The probe retracted slightly, returning to the larger alien vessel, which shifted and shimmered, massive and majestic, like a living city of thought and energy. Its patterns of light formed shapes the crew could not fully comprehend, but the feeling was clear: respect, curiosity, and recognition. Malik exhaled, a laugh of disbelief escaping him. We did it. We weren't crushed. We weren't ignored. They see us. They know we are here. And they are willing to let us continue. Armin looked at his crew, eyes filled with determination. Yes. This is our moment. Humanity has been seen. Humanity has been judged. And humanity has been accepted. Sarah added, her voice quiet but certain. And now, it's up to us to continue. To explore. To learn. To grow. And to show the universe that humans are worthy of notice, not through force, but through character. The stars around them seemed brighter now, the void more welcoming. The alien ship pulsed once more, slowly, deliberately, and then began to drift back into the darkness of space. But the connection remained. The Horizon's crew understood this was not the end. It was the beginning of a relationship, a dialogue, a journey that would span worlds and stars. Armin turned to the crew, pride and responsibility in his voice. Record everything. Log our experiences. We are not just explorers anymore. We are representatives of humanity in the eyes of a greater universe. And how we act from this point forward will define us. Malik looked out the viewport, awe in his eyes. Captain, I feel like we've grown. Not just as a crew, but as humans. We've been tested, and somehow, we passed. Armin nodded, a faint smile crossing his face. Yes. And the universe has noticed. That is the greatest achievement of all. The Horizon continued its journey, carrying not just a crew, but the essence of humanity itself. Courage, curiosity, and hope burned brightly within them. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of mystery, challenge, and promise. And for the first time, humans knew they had a place in the vast story of the cosmos. The Horizon drifted quietly through the stars, the crew still absorbing the weight of what had just happened. The alien vessel was distant now, its massive form shimmering faintly, but the connection remained. Captain Armin could feel it in his mind, a subtle awareness that stretched across the void. Humanity had been seen. Humanity had been judged. And now, the universe itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the next act. Sarah stood at the console, watching the distant light of the alien ship. Captain, they're impressed. Or at least, they respect us. I can feel it. It's like they're letting us continue. Letting us grow. Armin nodded slowly. Yes. But this is bigger than respect. This is a recognition. Not just of our presence, but of our potential. They've seen what humans can do, not with weapons, not with power, but with courage, curiosity, and honesty. Malik, still staring out at the stars, whispered, "It's beautiful. I feel like the universe itself is alive now. Like it knows us, and we are part of it. Not just as observers, but as participants." The probe pulsed one final time, soft waves of light washing over the horizon. The crew felt it as a message, acknowledgement, approval, and perhaps even awe. The aliens had seen humanity as it was meant to be seen, not small, fragile, or unimportant, but alive, unpredictable, and brave. Armin's voice was quiet, firm, and filled with wonder. We've been recognized. Humanity is no longer invisible. The universe has taken notice. And now, it's up to us to live up to what they've seen. Sarah pressed a button on the console, recording the final readings. Captain, this will change everything. Humanity, We've been put on the map. Not by force, not by conquest, but by who we are. Outside, stars twinkled, comets streaked across distant skies, and galaxies spun slowly in the blackness of space. And somewhere, beyond sight and understanding, the alien civilization watched, pulsing with awareness, holding a place for humanity among the greater cosmic order. Malik smiled faintly, still in awe. Do you think they'll come back? Or that we'll meet others like them? Armin looked out at the void, the endless possibilities stretching before them. Yes. We will meet others. We will learn. And we will grow. But the first step, the first contact, we made it with courage. That matters. That will always matter. Sarah added softly, and we have a choice now. To continue exploring, to continue learning, and to continue showing the universe what humans are capable of. Armin turned to his crew, pride shining in his eyes. Then we take that choice. We remain explorers. We remain humans. And we do not fear the unknown. We face it with courage, curiosity, and hope. The alien vessel shimmered one last time before drifting silently into the darkness of space. But its presence lingered, not as a threat, not as a test, but as a promise. Humanity had been seen. Humanity had been recognized. And the universe had paused to acknowledge it. The Horizon's engines hummed steadily as the ship moved forward, deeper into the void. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of mystery, challenge, and promise. The crew felt the weight of history on their shoulders, but also the excitement of what was to come. Humanity had survived first contact, not through force, not through cunning, but through the essence of what made them human. Malik whispered, still staring at the distant shimmer. Captain, I feel proud, and small, and alive, all at once. Armin smiled, placing a hand on the viewport. That's the way it should feel. We are human. And that is enough. More than enough. Sarah looked at the stars, awe in her voice. The universe is vast. And we are part of it. Seen, recognized, alive. That's more than any of us ever dreamed. The Horizon continued its journey, carrying not just a crew, but the hope, courage, and essence of humanity itself. The stars sparkled ahead, distant and beautiful, but now they felt welcoming, like old friends greeting a newcomer. And somewhere in the vast reaches of space, civilizations far older and wiser than humanity pulsed with awareness, acknowledging the arrival of a new participant in the grand story of the cosmos. Humanity had been tested, observed, and recognized, and the universe itself had frozen in astonishment at the courage of a species small in size but vast in spirit. Captain Armin took one last look at the void. This is only the beginning. The universe has noticed us. And we will not be forgotten. The Horizon glided forward, leaving a trail of light across the endless black. Humanity had been seen. Humanity had been judged. And humanity had survived the first moment that would echo across the stars forever.